Hello, I think you already see what model I've got for review today. I'm a fan of Campfire Audio and also I'm a fan of limited editions, so when these two things came together I'm totally losing my will and I cannot resist, and that's why I've bought limited edition Andromeda Limited Edition Gold. That's the correct name of this model. I'm not sure why they've selected gold as a code name, because as you can see even on the box they are totally black and the only gold thing is this gold plated screws. But anyway, I'm sure that is not that important. The difference with regular Andromeda is that here used 7 balanced armature drivers and here used crossoverless design, while regular Andromeda is 5 balanced armatures and they have crossover. And also price is $200 higher, but they are already sold out, so this review doesn't make much difference in terms of sales for this model, and moreover I've spent my money to get this limited edition, but I like them pretty much, so I'm filming this video just to share it with you and share my experience. And also, you know, it's a pleasure to sometimes to review something more expensive than that constant flow of Chinese models. So let's have a closer look now. Here I used new style package. As you can see, they've selected black color with yellow splashes. That means gold here. I'm still not a fan of this design, but anyway. And also, as usual, there are a lot of accessories, so if you don't like a regular unboxing part, you can use time codes in the description, so you can skip to next part. Inside you will have nice black with gold case, manual, short manual. So do we have specifications here? Yeah, 117 decibels of impedance, of sensitivity, and 7 ohms of impedance. They are even more sensitive than regular Andromeda, so totally black background is highly recommended for this model. And inside of this box you will have 2 pouches with accessories. Also you will have traditional cleaning tool. So you will have limited edition pin, so you've got an idea why they cost $200 more, and regular pin, set of final audio tips, 5 pairs if I remember right, set of foams, I think 3 pairs, and set of regular silicone tips with wider bore. So actually traditional set of accessories. Everything is packed in these pouches. I don't like them because they leaving a lot of garbage after them. And also we will have another pouch and Andromeda Gold themselves with new smoky leads cable. So as you can see, accessory set is more than great, but what else you can expect for this price range? In terms of design, well, it's Andromeda. You've seen it before many times and probably will seen it many times after that. Now it's made totally black with these gold plated screws. Looks pretty attractive, at least to my taste. Familiar shape, a lot of bevels, edges. Serial number is printed here, so you can be sure that your pair is unique. Company logo. As usual, great level of metal work, and to prove their skill they used new spouts for this Andromedas. Actually, if I understand right, new regular Andromedas also came with such spouts and with new upgraded cable. But anyway, for me it's a new thing. Same spout that is used in the Solaris, with unusual grill, looks attractive, has proper lip for better holding the tips, and thanks to this extended spout, fit into ears became much better, and to my ears they fit in really nicely and in a really comfortable way. Actually now they offer even better fit than Solaris. at least for me, because fit is subjective, of course. Build quality is superb, but I think you can see that yourself. Sound isolation is a bit above average, so no problems here. Finish and everything is done really well. Cable is replaceable. Here I used MMCX connectors. They are pretty tight, so I probably won't pull it now because it requires a bit more force, and I'm looking through my camera now. It's not the best idea to do it now. Stock cable now is made without memory wire, so just soft ear hooks to hold the cable around your ear. And it's upgraded version of their lead cable. It's really soft. It's tender soft. New color is smoky one. I prefer white one more, but it's a matter of taste. Splitter with chin slider. And here it goes braided down below to the angle jack, so everything that we've seen many times before, and actually design remains the same as before. Build quality is also great, so they are durable, they are convenient, they are stylish and made in a new color. And of course about the sound, they don't require any extended burn-in, it's just regular balanced armatures, and just find the proper tips. I like them with stock final audio tips, but I also like them with Symbio Air tips by Mandarins. So let's have some player on the table to provide examples. Of course, I'd like to get Ibasso DX160 for this review because its color schema matches this in-ear monitors, but I probably will get it closer to end of this week, so next week I will try them in pair. So KNN62 is also a great option for them. And probably the most logical and simplest way to describe their sound is to compare them with regular Andromedas. So even frequency response, if you've seen for this model, is already telling you a lot of information. So here Campfire Audio added a bit more low frequencies, and they've added a bit more treble, so signature is more V-shaped. But at the same time, this change isn't that big, about 5 or 6 decibels on the low frequencies and 6, 7 up to 8 decibels on the treble, so it's not a huge difference. Of course it's noticeable, but it's not the most important thing. More important here is that they've implemented crossoverless schema, and it gave bit more coherence in the general tuning, but more on that a bit later. So let's speak about the sound step by step. So bass here is accented, while regular Andromeda was not absolutely linear, but more on the linear side. Here they've got slight accent on the low frequencies, and it starts from the upper mid bass and goes way down to the sub bass. So basically all bass is accented, and of course they offer a nice weight. 2 additional balanced armatures here added to the low frequencies, so they're offering really nice weight, surprisingly good for the balanced armatures. Of course, hybrid Solaris will offer you even more weight and more tightness, but at the same time here you will have more than enough weight, and at the same time, thanks to the balanced armatures, you will have good resolution and really good control. So basically it's like foundation, but it's more solid foundation for the whole melody. What else? Texturing is really good, control is nice, and everything that you can expect here from bass is present, and of course it will tease those who like more accented low frequencies. As an example for low frequencies, I've got Hugh Laurie, A Kiss of Fire. perfect. I like Hugh Laurie as actor, I like him as a musician, and I like him as a musician probably even more. And I'd really like to hear at least few additional albums from him. Not sure will he do it once again, but 2 albums that he released, they are perfect blues, classical jazz and everything. So it's cover versions done with great style and performed on the really high level and really well recorded. And A Kiss of Fire, it's a great example. Of course, I could take some electronic music as an example of bass. I could take something like Musica Nuda, for example, or some other jazz music with double bass. But Kiss of Fire is not that bass heavy track, but of course double bass is present here too, but it's not accented. But at the same time, Lowe's accent here adding a bit more weight and a bit more body to this acoustic double bass, and it's sounding more solid, and it builds a perfect contrast with crisp and clear mids here and prominent treble, giving you nice sense of engagement. Mid frequencies are a bit, actually, not recessed, probably it's not the correct word here, but they are not accented as lows and treble, so probably yes, we can call that recessed. But usually recessed mids means lacking resolution or lacking some presence or moved to background, but it's not the case here, because here we've got nice resolution, we've got good weight balance, we've got a lot of emotions, and we've got a slight accent on the micro detalization, so definitely mids here doesn't sound too moved to the background, and they will give you nice resolution and nice amount of details. They are not as mid-centric as classical Andromedas, but I think it's pretty expectable result, because this one is tuned slightly different, but at the same time mids are common for the Andromedas. But I can say that here you will have a bit more resolution, just a tiny bit, not huge difference, but a bit more. I think it's because of crossover absence, but I could be wrong here, of course. They are pretty critical to the quality of recordings, but at the same time not super critical. But of course, listen to something that is recorded badly with these in-ear monitors isn't a great idea. At the same time, you will have all the details that is present in the record, all the emotions and all other stuff. And as an example for the mid frequencies, I've got a bit unusual track too. It's Northern Kings. It's best Finnish metal band vocalists covering classical songs, and Brother in Arms is a great example. It's perfect male vocals joined their forces together, and with these in-ear monitors you will have all that presence, all that emotions, all that power of really great vocalists, and at the same time perfectly separated and perfectly saturated. So it's a pleasure to listen to this track in this in-ear monitors. And treble, when I've seen frequency response of limited edition for the first time, I've expected them to be probably more bright, more harsh, but it's not the case. So treble here is a bit accented, but bass do its job, and it's balancing low frequencies fairly nice. Treble here is a bit more extended compared to the regular Andromeda. Resolution is the same. Of course, it's pretty good. Attacks and decays are natural, so layering and everything that you can expect from good treble is present here. Of course, if you are sensitive to the upper frequencies, you need to listen them before buying, but actually they're not harsh, at least at my scale, because of course harshness and treble sensitivity is a subjective thing here. At the same time, it's really do its job nice with feeling the track with overtones, with all that decays, with all that things that is necessary for realistic representation. And as an example for the treble, I've got my most favorite classical piece, one of two, because Tchaikovsky Overture 1812 is second one, but it's Ravel's Boléro. I've tested many versions, but I really like the one that is recorded by the Deutsche Grammophon, and it's perfect masterpiece of classical music. I think you know about it, so no need to describe why I think so. And these linear monitors will really take you and deep into that music and will give you how many? 16 minutes and 10 seconds of total musical orgasm. So to summarize everything about the sound of limited edition Andromeda, more bass, not much, but a bit more, so it's giving you more solid foundation. And also a bit more prominent treble, but at the same time it's not brighter than regular Andromeda because it's balanced by low frequencies. And a bit more detailed mids. But at the same time, it's not an upgrade, so don't consider this as an upgraded version of Andromeda. It's more like a bit different approach to same scene. It's like, when you take when you take your favorite dish and you just trying it with another sauce, because general representation is similar to classical Andromeda, just added a bit here, a bit there. I forgot to mention the imaginary stage. It's still spacious, one of the widest, and pretty deep. Depth is depth is smaller than width, but anyway, it's still good, offers good layering. But of course, the main issue here is pairing. 7 ohms of impedance and high sensitivity is just a pain in which part of your body, so you need really good source with low level of background noise. Or of course you can just get Hi-Fi IEMs that will solve this issue really well. And briefly a few words about comparison. So compared with regular Andromeda, more bass, a bit more resolution on the mids and a bit more treble, but at the same time bass and treble are compensated. I'm repeating that for those who skipped sonic description and jumped to comparison section. Maybe there will be someone. And of course another logical model to compare is Solaris. So basically Andromeda has a better fit for me, at least new revisions, because old revision was worse in terms of fit. And at the same time they are close, in signature on mids and on the treble, but here treble is a bit more linear and extended. It's not linear, but more linear than in Solaris. And bass here is they have a bit less bass than Solaris, but not much, and bass here is a bit faster, while in Solaris it's a bit more weighty. And another model that I'd like to mention here is Noble Audio Kaiser & Core. And it's just I'm a fan of Kaiser & Core signature, and it's a perfect scene. It's classical Andromeda, but moved a bit towards the Kaiser & Core. So just a bit of added bass and do that scene. It's more emotional, bit more emotional, and compared with regular Andromeda, but just also not big difference. So back to the Kaiser & Core. Kaiser & Core is a bit warmer on the mids and on the lows, but at the same time it has a bit less bass compared with this limited edition Andromeda. And on the treble, Kaiser & Core is a bit better, at least to my ears and to my preference, because it offers a bit better layering, a bit more saturated overtones. And Noble Khan is more linear, more natural, less colored, so I don't think there is much sense in comparing them. So let's make some conclusion. It's an interesting experiment from the Campfire Audio, and I suppose they will use the experience they've got in their future models, and meanwhile I will get another gem for my collection. Thank you for attention.